OpenAI raising $6.6 billion in the latest funding round. The startup behind ChatGPT, now valued where it was funded at $157 billion. OpenAI didn't name the investors that were part of that new round, but we are told it was led by Thrive Capital. Microsoft, NVIDIA, SoftBank, and others also taking part. Joining us now to talk about the company's plans and its skyrocketing valuation, Liz Hoffman, business and finance editor at Semafor, and our own Kate Rooney. We had Kate. You were on earlier. No, that was Kate Rooney Vera, who says she's been on with you before. It's very confusing.
But it is confusing.
It is. Take it away, Kate.
Yeah, I mean, unprecedented amount of money, even in Silicon Valley terms. So $6.6 billion at $157 billion valuation. And some of the biggest names in tech. We had SoftBank getting in on this round, NVIDIA, and Microsoft really doubling down here, plus some new venture investors. Thrive led the round, but you had Altimeter Capital, which is Brad Gerstner's firm. You also had, who else was in the round? I think Altimeter, who else was new there? Anyway, a lot of new investors and some big tech names that we didn't have before. So I think that's something to point out, just the sheer number. And then the valuation. If you look at some of the publicly traded names out there, $157 billion post-money puts OpenAI above names like Lockheed Martin, above Goldman Sachs. I was just reading a stat that if this were a public company, it would be among the most valuable in terms of the top 100 most valuable companies. So it marks sort of this new era and this endless need for capital by these AI companies. OpenAI, yes, $6 billion is a lot of money, but if you think about how quickly they're spending, what they need to spend on infrastructure, back to NVIDIA, need to spend on those chips, it's not clear that this is sort of the end of the road. I would expect this company to need to raise more capital going forward. We'll see about an IPO, but you can tell, at least from this round, that venture capital investors are more than eager to spend on OpenAI.
Liz, do you think that, or when will we say, oh my God, we could have gotten into this with a valuation of $157 billion?
There is a point at which you risk pricing yourself out of the public market, right? We saw some of that, I think, in the late 2010s. There's some argument that perhaps Stripe has found its way there recently. You never really want the IPO to be a down round. I don't know. Look, I mean, there's a lot of money on the sidelines here. I think the strategic investors are notable. There's maybe an argument that strategic investors have more of an incentive to fund these companies at a lower cost of capital, a little more patiently, perhaps than people looking for a return, though, of course, the strategic investors come with their own kind of regulatory headaches, too.
It sounded like you didn't think we're going to be saying, oh, my God, it's $400 billion now. What a deal it was at 150. And I would like you to connect the dots for me to where where we get to actual bottom line results that warrant that kind of, when and if we get to bottom line results that would warrant that valuation. And what does it look like? How do they do it? How do they monetize it?
They have to really figure out how to make money. It's hard for me to imagine that a technology that can make this much money for other people can't figure out how to make this much money for itself. You got to value these things these are top line, private stocks at the moment, not on any kind of multiple or earnings. But, recently, if you look at NVIDIA, which is certainly extremely highly valued and has been a rocket ship in a way that might raise your eyebrows, it's actually trading at a lower multiple to earnings than Cisco was in 2000, if you think of them as kind of like the plumbing, the infrastructure darlings of the current tech boom. So I don't know that it's helpful to compare the hype now to the hype in 99 and 2000 because that ended badly. But these companies are building things that real people want and that real companies need and are spending money on. It feels a little more genuine and sort of economically productive to me than other hype cycles, particularly the unicorn boom.
Right, but you can't tell me exactly what the business model looks like. I had no idea Google was going to lead everything in advertising with search and words and the way that played out. I need help trying to understand exactly how all the money gets generated for artificial intelligence. You need chips. Yeah. I understand NVIDIA. I just don't understand how it's going to, I've seen what this iPhone can do, and I don't need that iPhone for what it can do with AI. I guess it's early.
Joe, I would also point out the enterprise side of this business. So Liz made a great point in terms of ChatGPT and sort of the consumer side. I think they've really got to stick the landing when it comes to sort of white labeling AI and building what they're describing as the AI economy. So getting Fortune 500 companies to use their technology on the back end in a way that you wouldn't even know that it's OpenAI, but they're paying more than the consumer. So they have about 1 million enterprise customers. They're going to have to up that number to keep up with growth. I think that's one of the things that the investors here are underwriting, that they're going to be able to capture the startup community, the enterprise community, and it's higher margin. So they're really going to have to win there to justify that valuation at this point.
Liz, maybe I'm going to go into OpenAI and say, how are you going to ChatGPT? Say, how are you going to make money? Will they know? Is that trying to measure yourself? We can never really figure out the brain because we're using our brain to do it. Is that the same problem? Does OpenAI know how it's going to make money?
Look, there's some obvious models. Advertising is a model. It's proven to be a problematic one. I mean, you might look at perhaps like Google in its early days, which, huge companies were built on top of Google. And at some point, Google said, oh, we should charge for this, right? Maps is a good example, right? They started to make enterprise licenses available, and then it became a real cash cow. So I think that every generation learns a little bit more about how to monetize. Hopefully, we've learned a little more from the social media era about how to monetize responsibly.
Joe, I have an answer. I just asked ChatGPT how OpenAI was going to make money. And I think we're on to something. So enterprises, subscription services, API licensing, which also gets to the enterprise side of things, partnerships, consumer products, and then research and consulting. So that runs the gamut here. But that's the answer of how are you going to make money. That's
kind of cool. It didn't blow up and go. That's good. Asking it about itself.